After the popularity of my post on how we afford to give, I thought it would be worthwhile showing a bit of a breakdown on exactly where that money goes and also just a bit clearer visual of that impact.
So I previously shared this photo which shows an exercise that I did with Adam and Dani before Christmas. We chose a value for each soybean of $500 that represented our income and our expenses. And then children researched, with my help, each of these charities on the Life You Can Save impact calculator to decide how many soybeans to give to each. I'll show you that now. So from our website, you can just jump over to the resources page and scrolling down to effective giving and altruism, you can go to the Life You Can Save. That'll open up here. We're going to switch to Australia if you're in Australia. And then we can have a look at impact calculator, which you'll find over here under resources and impact calculator. Now we can see for each of the charities, and you can look at the ones which we've supported, or you can look at any others. Let's have a look at IGN, for example. If I gave $2,000 this year to IDA Global Network, see the impact, and it suggests that that could protect 12,870 people from iodine deficiency disorders such as debilitating brain damage. And it gives calculations for that, and obviously some disclaimers. And you can donate through the Life You Can Save, or you can jump straight onto the IGN network website and donate directly there. So pretty straightforward. We went through that exercise for each of the charities that work in the areas where can reasonably visit, and had a look at which of these things we feel most compelled to engage with. Uh, and while we did go through that indicative exercise, in the end, we actually left it to the Life You Can Save to choose how money is given with the Maximise Your Impact Fund, because this is then the most effective giving that can happen, where they're looking at the communities that are in the greatest need at any given time. So helpful to understand how some of the work happens for each of those organisations. Ultimately, if we're making the decisions, we're probably not making them as well as the researchers that have done this work, and so yeah, in our case, we left it to the experts to decide. So this is the post that I've described before that is our most popular at the moment. And we talked about how we've afforded to give over time. You can find it on our website. But one thing that I wanted to do was provide a slightly clearer breakdown of our expenses. So I think that that's something that has fascinated people, how different this is from Australian average. So I've converted this and also merged the soybean plot into a Sankey chart, which hopefully makes it a whole lot clearer. The Sankey diagram is an excellent way of breaking categories into subcategories. So you can see on the left how our combined income, different sources, the budget that forms, and then the breakup on the right. And in the top right, you can see how our charitable giving is divided up and the impacts that it had. Now, what we've discovered when looking at our budget versus actuals is that we actually managed to save quite a bit more than we thought we would on the soybean plot. I'd like to emphasize that this, while reasonably accurate now for our expenses last year, is not typical for most of our life, where previously we were paying down our mortgage quickly, so our housing costs were higher than the Australian average. I spoke briefly with Emelie, Adam, and Dani about each of the charities that they support and why.
The first organisation that I've given to, and I still continue to give to, is Plan International. They were a charity that promoted children's well-being and rights, and now I think they're focusing on girls in particular. I guess that resonates fairly strongly with me because I'm female, and I like the idea that everyone in the world can have a fair go. So that because people are born girls and therefore they don't have a fair go seems really unjust, and so I would like to support that. Also, we've been to like a community in Cambodia that Plan has worked and seen kind of the good work that they've done there. So I've seen it firsthand. The second organisation that I've supported for a few years is Médecins Sans Frontières, that's Doctors Without Borders. And I guess this idea of fairness resonates very strongly with me. It's one of my top character strengths. And Médecins Sans Frontières provides medical services to people who otherwise wouldn't get them, a lot of the time in kind of emergency situations. So I think that here in Australia we're very lucky that we have such an excellent medical system. I like that some of my money goes to helping out people who are in desperate need of medical services. Also, the doctors are often there on a volunteer basis. So I feel like if they're volunteering their time and dealing with the trauma, then I can put in some of my money too. The other organisation that I've just put in money this year is The Life You Can Save. And they have a whole swathe of really excellent not-for-profit organisations who work very effectively in terms of dollars per well-being improved around the world. And that kind of ongoing training session results in them improving their livelihood and allowing them to increase their income once that support's been taken away. So that's one that I thought was really cool. Like raising a village seems great, because I feel like for some of these people, the barrier is a lack of awareness or a lack of information.
And Adam, who do you support?
Plan International,
And why is that?
because they're cool and they do things that I support. The stuff for girls, because I just feel like even with all the human stuff, it's still, they're getting neglected in less developed countries.
Hey, Dani.
Hi.
Do you remember which charity you decided to give to?
Give directly.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about Give
Oh.
Directly?
It gives directly to a family. They usually make good decisions with the money.
Okay.
If you are inspired by what you've learned today, how about you come over to The Life You Can Save and check out the impact calculator. So here we've got $2,000 given to the Malaria Consortium, can protect 183 children from malaria during a high-risk season. That's amazing. After you've decided that your donation can be useful, you can check out Giving What We Can and take the pledge, where you can decide how much money you want to give regularly and keep a track of your donations. Very helpful at tax time, and also to see the kind of progress that you're making.
Together we can.
Together we can.